Good evening. I'll be giving you a presentation on dolphin safe tuna for week 6. So, some of the main points that after reviewing the dolphin safe tuna food label, the dolphin safe tuna food label is used on tuna products to denote compliance with laws in the commercial fishing industry, which are designed to minimize the loss of life to dolphins during the fishing for tuna that will later be canned for use. However, as we have learned from environmental activists in a relatively recent film on Netflix called Seaspiracy, there is a clear distinction that stakeholders and important groups of people disagree with their business practices. From an ethical standpoint, there is a very real scandal developing for organizations which market their products as environmentally friendly and indeed are not so whatsoever. Dolphin safe tuna represents an ideology that is inherently good in nature, morally and ethically. However, the reality shows something different as the facts for these organizations begin to rear their ugly heads. In order to assess the effectiveness of the environmentally friendly marketing schemes, stakeholders must endeavor to hold individuals and key organizations accountable for the information they release and the actions they take or do not take. The gripping film Seaspiracy takes a constructive look at the commercial fishing industry and the inherent problems associated with it. Ali Tabrizi, the director and producer of this documentary, critically evaluates the industry as literal floating slaughterhouses, whose only aim is to exterminate as many fish as they can, as fast as they can, and for the most amount of money possible. It is difficult to look at the film from an objective viewpoint, but the issues he highlights within the industry are noticeable and generate negative critiques as well. To put it bluntly, the term sustainable gets a stern look on how it is portrayed. According to the individuals in this film, there is no such thing as sustainable fishing. Unethical working conditions in the commercial fishing industry continues to exacerbate the problems associated with climate change, plastic pollution of the oceans, overfishing, and bycatch. The Marine Stewardship Council, which is an organization related to dolphin safe tuna in nature, refutes many of the claims made by Ali in the film, in that the ocean is readily able to recover and replenish their fish stocks if they are managed carefully in the long run. However, when most international laws and regulations are mostly voluntary, there is no real way to hold stakeholders accountable for their actions. Sustainable labels are now one of the many marketing strategies to reel in potential customers, which closely follow the political narratives of today's controversies concerning the environment. This tuna-dolphin dilemma has triggered many concerns over recent years because of the inherently unethical practices in which these organizations are known to take part in. With dolphin-safe tuna, there is no real way to assess, evaluate, and/or vet the products which are generated by their suppliers. These organizations are overall misleading and should be held accountable for their actions. One of my last few points here is that the commercial fishing industry is given government subsidies close to $40 billion in order to gain the resources necessary to bring as many fish to market for the inherent demand. These organizations would like the public to believe that the industry is just the hard-working local fisherman in his modest boat going to catch a few fish for the day and bring them to market. However, the U.S. and international fishing market should not be given the amount of funds they are given because they are just not used properly. However, the reality is giant fishing vessels that often execute trawling of the ocean floor leave a path of devastation after it, with no sustainable way for the fishing stock and the habitat it destroyed to recover or replenish. So, some of those main points here: sustainable fishing and misuse government subsidies, transitioning to the overall strategic planning. Why this issue is unethical is that, and where we need to take a deeper look at these types of organizations is in their strategic planning. Strategic planning for any organization today should involve ethical, moral, and social responsibility in order to hold these stakeholders and that support them accountable. Risk and cost benefit analyses should always be taken when organizations utilize their strategic planning processes properly. However, ethical and moral issues in the United States and internationally arise because organizations did not properly plan for it. Therefore, it is imperative to execute organization planning with an ethical and moral core framework in order to generate lasting success for the company and the environment as a whole. And these are my references, and there is the Dolphin Safe label that is commonly sold in all types of food markets. Thank you.